Most other organisations don't care. Compete where you want to compete, but it's just the IFBB that makes the threats and punishes people for doing what they love to do. You don't need to threaten people to have them come compete with you or make them stay with you. It's just bullshit.
Or punish them, for that matter. You don't need to punish people for that. I had a pretty prominent coach in bodybuilding reach out to me, and he said to me, "You're going to piss off the establishment by talking about stuff like this." He was like, "Don't do it."
We pay them for our pro card, where it says we're independent contractors. So how can you tell me where I can go or what I can do to make money when I'm an independent contractor? If you see something negative, report on it just like you do the positive. But because they didn't like it, they took their press passes away for a year or two.
That's insane. No freedom of speech.
Is the establishment really so threatened?
It's like
are they really so threatened? All right, we're back for another one. We were just talking about stretching. Yeah, that machine that Andrew has, it looks painful. Like, and he doesn't look like he's in any kind of agony when he's doing it. But man, if I was to sit down and do that, I would be fucking dying.
I used to have to have one. I said, when I did karate, I had one at home, and you just put your legs in and just sit there winding it out. Or maybe I need one of those old torture racks in the old medieval days where they tie your hands and feet and someone just starts turning the wheel. Stretch me out.
It could be a new use for an old invention. There you go. You might be onto something.
Or get the old 4 horses where they used to quarter people, one arm and one leg on each horse, and they all pull. Just go slowly, just a little bit.
Now that's a stretch. Holy shit! I'm surprised you haven't found guys. Man, some of these guys.
The horse. Someone spooks the horse and the horse rips your arm off. Oh, that's good now. Well, I won't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, well, some guys might make their height in classic, increase their height a bit.
Oh, well, weren't some guys actually doing stretching and weird shit to try and do that?
I've seen Stefan Matala do it when he was still doing classic. He had entire YouTube videos dedicated to it. He actually went to his town hall to get officially heighted, so we knew exactly where he was at. I was like, this guy is really, really in trouble because he's scared.
Here's an idea. How about just do some heavy squats and make yourself shorter?
Do you think that actually, do you think that really does make you shorter? Like, come on.
Maybe if you did a heavy set of squats and measured yourself right after it, it might have compressed you a bit. But I think just walking around loosening up, you're going to be the same. Or maybe they say as you get older, if you train for a lot of years, yes, just to slowly, you decompress and all that crap in between, the juicy stuff gets squashed out. So maybe you do lose a bit of height over the years, but I wouldn't think just doing it straight away would make you shorter. I know when I'm finished squatting, I'm shorter because I get up from under the bar and I'm like, my back, I can't stand up straight. So I'm probably shorter that way.
What about the other way? Do you think that these guys that try to actually stretch themselves, do you think there's any validity to that whatsoever? Like, honestly, no, I don't either.
Think maybe if you did it and you did your height straight after it, maybe you get that little like that for a second, but then everything would just sort of settle back down again. It's like pumping your arms. You pump your arms and you measure them, they're really big, but then they go back down again. So I think that stretching might just be there. Like if they said we're going to take your height at 10 a.m. If you're out the back at 9:58, 9:59 stretching, then you run right out really quick. Maybe you got that extra quarter of an inch and all of a sudden it'll just settle in again, just go back down. So,
yeah, but trying to actually gain height off of it, like anyone that would try to do that for like a prep, like as part of the routine, it's just not going to happen, man.
Here's an idea. How about we get bacterial water and you just inject it under the skin on your head. That way, when they put the thing there to measure it, you've got half an inch, like an extra little lump on top of your head. Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah,
synthol under the hairline, so you got a bit of
See, there you're going to gain. What are you going to gain? An inch, maybe 2, if you really wanted to, right? Or Lee, this is what you could do. Next pro show that you're at, you could just advertise. Anybody that wants to gain a little bit more height, Lee Priest will fucking smack you in the fucking head, and it'll swell.
A baseball bat, just a baseball bat. Oh fuck! Yeah, like a nice big egg on top of your head. Okay.
Yeah, a good egg would actually give you an inch.
You might,
Hey man,
yeah,
how
you
bad
might,
do you want it?
or you might get a blood clot or a concussion, but hey, it doesn't matter.
Could lose brain cells too. You know,
That
Yeah, but
night
you'll
you
make your
die in
height.
hospital.
trigger an early Alzheimer's. Also, I think they say.
But what about a few people have died that way? Sadly, I remember Liam Neeson's wife died that way when they're on holidays and she had a ski instructor and she slipped and hit her head and she thought she was okay. They're like, we should take it to hospital. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. And that night they did take her to hospital. But she died from some aneurysm in the head, just from banging her head.
Oh shit.
Never heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, look, bodybuilding's a dangerous sport. I mean, it just adds to the danger. Like, do you want to make your height? Look, Ramon Dino. Have you guys seen some of the latest updates from Ramon Dino?
It's kind of hard to see, really.
Well, the size difference I don't think is hard to see. I think he's going to have I did a segment on it in my last video. I think he is going to have trouble making weight. He's pretty big.
I saw one of Mike Sommerfeld. He looked like he could go in the open almost now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your cat just leaped from the back thing all the way to the one in the middle.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey. Yeah, say hello. Hey.
Which one is that?
Pixel. Hey, Pixel. Where you going? Camera shy. Okay, you go back up there. I think she can hear a bird on the roof. See her looking at the roof? I think there's a bird out on the guttering. She's like,
oh, right, yeah.
It's like the light that's not turned on is more interesting. No, really.
Should turn it on.
Yeah, scare the shit out of it. Yeah. No, I really do think that Ramon is going to have trouble. He's had trouble in the past. You guys remember? It was Mark. You remember 2022, wasn't it?
Was it 22 or 23?
It was one of the two. I couldn't remember in my video either. But Chris Aceto stepped in, had some words, and then Ramon ended up making it.
He made it. Yeah. He used that stuff Bob Ciccarello was selling there, the helium drink. Remember his April Fool's joke that he had?
Yes.
What makes you lighter does it when you drink it?
Yeah. he posted that on April 1st.
Might make a couple bucks off someone that's just, willing to do whatever it takes, right?
Everybody wearing black today?
We get a helium bottle backstage and just put it up someone's ass and give them a few
Hey, you'll gain your height now.
Then they're bloated, though.
They're standing on stage and all of a sudden they just start floating up to the ceiling. put a little string on them like a balloon and pull them back down. Hey.
Yeah, goodbye weight
on your shirt there? It looks like an old Charlie's Angels shirt or old actresses, or the Golden Girls, is it?
Golden Girls.
You got Blanche, you got Rose, or Dorothy, and there's Sophie down there.
Yeah. There she is.
Rose was the last one to go, wasn't she?
And she was the oldest one.
Yeah. She almost made it to 100, didn't she? Was she 99 when she died?
I think she was 100.
Was she?
I could be wrong.
I wasn't sure if it was just a day or two before, not long before her birthday. She just...
Yeah.
I put up on the thing today, what's his name died today, 87, Terrence Stamp. Zod he played Zod in Superman.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The bad guy. Yeah. He probably watched the new one and then died.
I know. He went, I started to watch that because it was on this download station. I said to my wife, you want to watch the new Superman? Oh my God. I was watchable, but I'm just like, not as good as
you love Superman.
Henry. Yeah.
So
there's just too many characters. There was too many characters in it. It just seemed like, even though you're watching it, it's almost like you walked in on the movie halfway through because, you don't really know the background of half the other characters in it. But my wife, from the beginning, 20 minutes in, she's like, he's not Superman. He doesn't look nothing like Superman. Oh, yeah. So I just turned it off. I said, I can't take your commentary anymore. And then I put on the Henry Cavill one. She's like, I like this one where it starts off, Russell Crowe's his father. That she goes, this is a better one. So we watched The Man of Steel again with Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, that was the last.
I like that one.
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, where it started like the whole story again, where he was on Krypton and Russell Crowe was his father, and that was better.
Who was Tom Hanks or Kevin Costner's dad in one of them?
Yeah, he was his father. Yes. Yeah, on Earth. Yeah.
Me and the wife went into the movie theater.
And he went to save him. But that tornado comes. He's like, spoiler alert.
Well, this new one, it has such bad reviews. I don't even want to go see it. Like
dog
everybody
in
is
it,
saying
they
how
said,
terrible
the
it
dog.
is.
Like every
But even,
time the dog
I,
enters the room or something, it's
I
part
don't mind
of
the,
a joke.
and I didn't mind the trunks on the outside like Christopher Reeve, but they were so fucking big. It was like he's wearing a red nappy. And then, like I said, every scene that he's in, he's almost getting the shit kicked out of him in every scene. I'm like, oh, he's fucking beat up again. Jesus.
I like Christopher Reeves though as Superman.
Yeah, he was
I'm old school. I like Michael Keaton as Batman, and I like Christopher Reeves.
Yep.
You guys ever
But
hear
like
what happened to Christopher Reeves?
When that Flash movie
coincidence?
came out, did you like when the Flash movie came out? And I didn't like the Flash movie, but Michael Keaton coming back as Batman was the best thing in that.
he reprised Batman.
Yeah. What were you saying about Christopher Reeves?
Oh, yeah. It's a strange coincidence. You'll have to look it up because you'll probably think I'm lying. He did a movie right after Superman where
was that when the Rear Window movie?
I forget what it was called. He was a
I think
cop.
it was called The Rear Window, where he witnessed the murder out his back window and he's in a wheelchair.
He got shot and he was a paraplegic. He said he went to like hang out with the paraplegics, and he said he almost felt guilty every day. He'd get back into his car. He'd be like, "Well, I can walk." And then he did the movie, and then he became a paraplegic before it was even released. Like all in one scene.
I remember I actually had the same name too. I used to like the old George Reeves TV show of Superman.
Oh, he wore the fake shoulder pads?
Yeah, and he just like leap out of a window.
There was an old Batman too, back in like the 30s, before Adam West.
Oh, before Adam West,
yeah, before Adam West.
And I think there was actually another Superman before George Reeves. There was some other guy that did it for a little bit, and
I think that's what I'm thinking of. He had the shoulder pads, fake shoulder pads on there.
Actually, because I watched the YouTube thing the other day, it had old 70s or so TV shows. Had the $6 Million Man, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. It's just showing all the Hulk, Bill Bixby, and all the old good shows.
I watched.
And there was that one too. What was the other superhero show? It had a girl in it. I can't remember now.
Bionic Woman.
No, it was like remember Shazam, where that guy would travel around in the old camper van with the old guy, and he'd stand. And his name was Billy Madison. He'd stand in front of and he'd go, "Elders strong, elders wise, appear before my seeking eye." Look it up, Google it. Go look up Shazam, Captain Marvel. And he'd stand in front of this like camper van, and he'd go Shazam, and the lightning would hit him, and he'd turn into Captain Marvel with the big lightning bolt on his chest.
And it was a live action show. It wasn't like a cartoon.
Yeah. It's called Shazam or Captain Marvel. Yeah, he used to travel in a camper van, and when there was trouble, you'd see the elders, but they were like cartoon type things. But then, he'd turn into, it was a whole different character. I forget the guy who played him was, but it was pretty good. It was a good show. That's why I got confused when they brought out Shazam and then they brought out Captain Marvel, because in the TV show, Shazam and Captain Marvel are the same person.
See the guy with the lightning bolt on his head or something? Or maybe
Shazam was the guy, they made that sort of comedy movie. He had the red suit on and the lightning bolt, because in the TV show he has a white suit with the lightning bolt, but they also call him Captain Marvel. So then they made Captain Marvel with the female.
No, I don't. Man, I don't know any of these shows. Who was the guy that who was it that played Batman when he went on top of the mountain and he went to the League of Shadows?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. He was a pretty good Batman. He was pretty good.
I like his acting because he's Bruce Wayne. He's just like, yes, we have to look into this. And all of a sudden, what are you talking about? We have to. Like, the whole voice changed. That's incredible.
Yeah, there's some guys that are better at being Bruce Wayne, and then guys that are better. Like, I think Michael Keaton was the best Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah.
He just looked like
I can understand why.
Batman without a suit.
If you ever want entertainment, watch me do the Dave RX show totally dressed as Batman.
I used to watch that show all the time.
I talk like that the whole time. The week before I did it totally dressed as the Joker with the full makeup and everything. Then the following week I did it as Batman.
Was that Iron Rage?
No, just the normal. Yeah, it could have been Iron Rage. It's just the normal show where he interviews me. So the whole time I'm sitting there like this, talking like Batman. I'm like, you people,
robot glove at one
stupid.
Point.
Yeah. What's that?
You had the big robot glove at one point, I think.
Oh yeah,
the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
But on that one, I'm just making fun of people too. It's like, you people think it's dumb me dressed as Batman. I said, you're the ones watching a 52-year-old dressed as fucking Batman. You're the idiot. It's like,
man, I miss the old Iron Rage episodes.
Yeah, they were my favorite ones.
Iron Rage was sick. Even before you were on it, Lee, when you did
people.
well, even before Lee was on it with John Romano, like there was some good topics, man. I watched those religiously.
I still like Greg and that stuff, but now, sadly, I can't really watch after hours. It's just like too much. Like
there's 7 people going.
It's just like, and I'm like, who are some of these? Look, I know Dave likes to bring different people in, a guest every now and then, but he should have just stuck with the cast of John, Jimmy, Greg, Mr. G, and himself, and then every now and then bring a guest in. But when they got all these other people in, I'm like, who the fuck? What? And then it's just like, just can't keep up. I'm like, Jesus, what's happening?
It is. It's off the walls too, man. And I'm telling you, Lee, the comment sections when he does the lives, brutal, man.
Sometimes he doesn't put them on there. Sometimes he turns them so you can't see them, and then he just puts up the comments that he wants to be seen. So I think because they're not scrolling up anymore, he just posts one every now and then. Especially too Saturday, I felt bad, especially if he gets like a good female bodybuilder on there. Oh, the comments start, listen to a voice. Who's this dude? Blah. It's like, oh, fuck. It's like they just rubbish her into the ground. I feel like, fuck it, I'll give her some credit. Okay, you might not like her look, whatever, but they're like, how big's her dick? And I mean, the comments are just so fucking brutal.
Man, even without any female bodybuilders on there, like just the regular everyday people that are dedicated to just giving Dave shit in every chat that he has.
Is Amin in jail yet? And they talk about jail and this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Someone always comes in as Dave Palumbo's attorney, and he's always writing writing shit comments. Amanda's attorney.
Yeah. It is brutal. Like and it's not like sometimes or most times, it's every time.
Constant too.
Dave's got to hate that shit, man.
I think because I know Sid watches it and he does the stuff there because he's watching and sort of co-hosting in the background. I'm like, why doesn't he just put some of those ones in timeout? Like every now and then, some of those things are funny, but when they're just constantly just going, I'm like, okay, I'll put you in timeout for a little bit, just to.
I'd be getting rid of the majority of them. He'd have no comments left.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, it is pretty brutal. But no, the Iron Rage was really good. Why did you ever stop doing the Iron Rage anyway?
I don't know. It's like then Jim and I used to have the confessions, and people loved the confessional show we used to do.
Confessions was good. Yeah.
I think we probably drove a lot of people to suicide on that show, but trying to help them, of course. But I don't know. He just stopped contacting me to do them and stuff. So maybe he might have thought I was getting a bit too crazy, and he might have been scared of losing his channel. But then again, with Dave, I know he likes to be a free thinker, but he has been told several times before by the powers that be to get rid of me and tone me down, and I have been booted. So
that's when I stopped watching. I really
because when I came back, the very first show I did, he actually had to talk to Weinberger and Jim, and he's like, they've agreed we can do a show and that, blah blah blah. And when we recorded the first show, he had to send it to him to get approval before it went to air. I'm like,
no way.
Who runs his channel? You or them? Fucking give me
that's crazy.
But it's like the point is though they're making, or if Lee have Lee on and he says this and says that, you and that won't be allowed to come to the contest or cover contests. So they just threaten them all the time with bullshit like that. I'm like, fuck off. It's like, so what? It's like at that time when John and Dave, they talked about the Olympia and how it wasn't that good when Robin Shane was running it, and they lost their press passes for a year or two. It's like, what, you can't say anything negative? If you see something negative, report on it just like you do the positive. But because they didn't like it, they took their press passes away for a year or two.
That's insane. No freedom of speech.
No. It's like here in Australia, you know, even sponsors, which I never understood, because I had friends that would own supplement stores here and they'd sponsor IFBB shows. And when I was running the NABRA and that for a while, I'd ask them to sponsor. Then, Lee, I can't. The IFBB told me if I sponsor NABRA, I can't sponsor IFBB. I'm like, so it's your money. I said, how can they tell you where to spend your money? It's like, if you're the IFBB and I have all the money, you say, Lee, you can't sponsor our shows. If you did, I'd be like, fine. I say, you need my money. I don't fucking need you. People know what supplement store I am to come buy my subs. I'm doing you a favor by giving you money. So how can you tell me who the fuck I can sponsor? That's crazy. but yet these sponsors listen to them. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
You know, it was very early on in my channel when I was touching on a couple of topics. I remember there was one poll that I put up on my community page, and it was about Tyler Mannion. And I said, should Tyler Mannion, being the vice president of the IFBB Pro League, essentially running the place is really what it is, right? Yeah. Should Tyler Mannion be a head judge at a show? Is there not an inherent conflict of interest in that? And I'm not going to say who, but I had a pretty prominent coach in bodybuilding reach out to me, and he said to me, "You're going to piss off the establishment by talking about stuff like this." He was like, "Don't do it." And I was like, I can post about whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'm not part of the establishment. I'm not making any money off of the establishment. I mean, for me, this is something that I started doing for fun, you know? I have there's no way that anything, anyway, I couldn't believe it. Like when I was messaged like that, I was like, that just makes me want to talk about it more, honestly.
But the thing is that because you make your money elsewhere, and that all they do would be like, say if you want to get a big name on your show, they'd be told, if you go on Kenza's show, that's it, you'll be in trouble with us or you won't place well. That's the sort of shit they would do. They'll ban people. I told you how that time Jose Raymond come to Australia.
Yep.
And I went to see him at the store. This was like years ago now. And he took photos with me. And he just did an interview saying, "Oh, I met Lee. It was so good." And I thought one of the first times he actually spoke like in person for a long time. He's like, "I would have been great to compete with Lee. What an honor it would have been to be on stage," because I'd retired by the time he was getting up there. And he got a call from high up. "Don't ever mention fucking Lee's name in an interview again," and blah, blah, blah.
Can you imagine?
It's like when I went to England after the Universe, had all these tours lined up. The head of the IFBB in England back then, I think it was like the UK BFF, whatever it is over there, Bill Tierney, he called up gyms. "If you have Lee Priest at your gym, none of your competitors are ever going to place in a show." What's his name? Zach Khan was going to come to one of my things. He had to call me up. "I can't come, Lee. I've just been told by Bill Tierney if I turn up, I'll never place in a pro show again." It's like all the bullshit that went on. Two gyms cancelled because two of the gyms that were going to have me, they were IFBB judges, and they were told they'd lose their judging and all that sort of stuff if they had me at the gyms. That's how, and this was like 2013, 14, after I'd already been suspended in 06. That's how long they were holding this grudge, trying to ruin my seminar tour.
Yeah, crazy.
Like,
well, you won the NABA Pro, or you won the NABA title in 2013.
Yeah, and this was after that when I did the seminars over there. And now there's actually on one of the videos, I'm in the back of a car talking on the phone. I'm like, "Listen, you piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And your wife's a whore." That was me talking to Bill Tierney, the head of the IFBB in England. I had him on speakerphone.
Is the establishment really so threatened?
It's like paranoid.
Are they really so threatened? I mean, the IFBB Pro League is the biggest, without question, by a long shot. The biggest organization in the world. Why are they so threatened by comments?
I couldn't even go to a show in Australia, Tony Doherty or anyone. I couldn't go to an expo or the IFBB Pro Australia. They wouldn't let me in because I was suspended. I'm like, so I can't even buy a ticket and come into the expo. I said,
really?
There's other people from different organizations coming in here. And like I said, even Tony mentioned it on the podcast, because in the end, when the IFBB, the IFBB split and Raphael went this way and Jim took it this way, out of the blue, like I said, I know Tony since I was a teenager, competed in his shows, whatever. And then all of a sudden my phone rings, Tony Doherty. I'm like, it's been almost 7 years. Pick it up. "How you going, Lee?" I'm like, "How you going, Tony? Strange, I haven't heard from you." He goes, "Oh, well, I just want you to know, because the IFBB is split and that now we've gone in a different direction, you're more than welcome to come back to my shows." And that I'm like, "Well, why couldn't they come before?" He's like, "You know how it is." I said, "No, I don't know how it is." I said, "I was a good friend of yours." I said, "You could have fucking texted me in 7 years or still called me. How would they know?" And I mentioned that on the podcast. And I think a week later, he was on one and someone brought up and goes, "Was it true you wouldn't let Lee come to the shows?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's true." I goes, "I felt bad, but you have to do what you have to do." I'm thinking, these people who just don't get it. Don't get it.
I don't understand feeling so threatened, I really don't. I don't get it. Like, it's like they think that even any minuscule comments though, I mean, these things come and go. We talk about it all the time in bodybuilding. There's comments that are made and it comes and goes, and it's a new day literally like the next day, you know?
Yeah, but even when they tell the athletes, if you do this or do that, you're going to get suspended. If the athlete's not doing anything wrong, it's just these people on a power trip. That's what I said, the athletes do it. I said, if you all do it, what are they going to do? Fucking suspend all of you? If they suspend all of you, guess what? They don't have a fucking show then, do they? If all their athletes are suspended. I said, you guys have the power, but you're giving it all to them. It's like you're letting them walk all over you because, I don't want to upset them because I want to place well. After the show, I better go ask the judge, how am I looking? How can I improve? Kiss the judge's ass, getting feedback. I'm like, fuck off.
Well, look at Phil. Look at Phil Clayhart. Just finished the Masters Olympia with the biggest point swing that I've ever seen in bodybuilding. And he actually specifically told me that he did not go to the judges because he was like, they're just going to bullshit me.
Yeah,
there's no point.
And I think that placing came from when he spoke out against it last time, and him and Bob had that thing going back and forth. And look at that gay photo there. Look at that.
Don't complain. That's what Ronnie said.
Yeah, but did you see Phil sent me a thing? I put it in my story when I asked that AI about.
Yep. Like 200,000 or 300,000 times it ran it or something.
It's only happened. Yeah, it's like some minuscule percent this has ever happened before. And like I said, Xavier and I spoke about it too on another podcast where every other score from there down was pretty much the same. That was the only two that were so fucking drastic where it went, what happened?
We're talking about Masters Olympia scorecards, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Well, we are, but the grander kind of topic on this is the IFBB Pro League feeling so threatened from what is really minuscule comments, you know, from various individuals, Lee being one of the prominent ones, of course, but like the IFBB just feels so threatened by, like we were talking about how Lee used to be on Iron Rage, and we were just informed that Dave was told by the establishment, if you keep getting on Lee, then you're going to lose your press passes and all this other shit. But like, why? Like, why? Why are they so threatened? They're the biggest league in the world by a long shot, and bodybuilding fans have, just like any sport, short memories, man, honestly.
Well, even John Romano and I, when we had that Shotgun Big Show, he got a few calls from the powers that be because after my suspension, it was for 2 years or more, then I got it back, my pro card back, and then I just thought I'm not going to compete anymore, so I just let it lapse. We did the Shotgun Big Show when I was with VPX, and we talked about the good and the bad, and that's when I got my suspension for life because they didn't like what I was saying on that show. And John got, I think John even mentions he got a few calls too and got in trouble off Weinberger over things I said. like, imagine any other sport. Commentators talk shit about NFL and basketball and some of the players and shit. They talk shit if it's not run properly. All sports do. But I said, for some reason, bodybuilding, the people that run it are sensitive. And now these days too, even the bodybuilders, you say anything negative and they're so fucking sensitive. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I think the IFBB where it's at right now is way better than it used to be. Like back, Lee, when you were competing, I
don't think so. Like, from what little things I hear, it's still the same. Just people are too scared to talk about it now. Like people are still getting the old lay down. Because I've had a few messages. People have said, Lee, don't mention this, but I was told. So,
I mean, I think we spoke about, remember back in Australia, I don't know if this was what it was like in America. I'm guessing probably similar. But if you were an IFBB pro, it doesn't matter if it's bikini, men's physique, whatever, you could not attend another show from another federation, whether it's amateur or whatever. So your girlfriend's competing in the natural INBA, whatever competition, you weren't allowed to go and watch. And if you did, you'd have to be like in a hoodie, like, you know.
That's happened recently.
Has it? Because
yes,
I've seen in Australia, it was like that. And then it was like all of a sudden I saw all the IFBB pros at the natural events and stuff. I'm like, oh, this feels a bit better because it feels less like a dictatorship.
I think they're letting them now. I've seen, but you have to, because I think, who was it not long ago? I think Giles, when he had, did he have Terence over in England not long ago? Terence Ruffin?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think they went to a show that wasn't IFBB, but they had to contact Tyler Mannion and get the approval, and they said, okay, he can be there at the expo and meet fans and sell stuff, but he can't go on stage or in any way be like he's promoting whatever that contest is and stuff, but he can be there just in the expo area and stuff. I'm like, what would it matter? It's like if if I run the IFBB and my competitors are going to different shows and people are seeing them, that's good advertisement. That'd be like if I was sponsored by Pepsi and I go to a fucking Coke event, but I'm wearing Pepsi, people might be like, hey, I might switch to Pepsi. So if you've got this guy who's a top IFBB competitor at NABA or A&B or whatever organization it is, that's good promotion for the IFBB. It's like, how could that be a bad thing, for fuck's sake?
I agree with that. Like, I would say to the athlete, like, hey, like, you can go to that contest. Just make sure you wear, like, hey, we'll send you an NPC t-shirt and just wear that.
Yeah, or an IFBB shirt. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember I did, and this is probably more, I think this is more the way like Fuad used to be when he used to sponsor me. Not, I think he's changed a bit now at least. But when I went on, I started doing a podcast, or I was doing a few episodes interviewing Brandon Curry, but went on his channel. And because he had a supplement company, and he had a backdrop behind him that was all his, his supplement companies running at the time. And I went on there with the Hostile cap, Hostile t-shirt. I put it down so you could see Hostile somewhere there. You could see I was fully branded in Hostile, and Brandon didn't care. But Fuad wasn't happy about me going on there because he had
to me that'd be great if you can get on a guy's channel or a channel who, say, you even got on the whatever company Brandon was with. He got on his actual podcast that was owned by that company. If you can get on there wearing yours, people are going to go, oh, Hostile, I might try that. So it's like, I don't see how it's a bad thing at all. It'd be different if you had nothing on, but if you're advertising his on a other channel, to me that's a win.
And I explained that to Fuad too, and he says, no, it's okay. But like the initial thing, like, you know what supplement companies are like, and I think Federation is the same way. Like, you feel that threatened in that competition, and because they are the number one federation, and it's easier to go, no, you can't do it. Yeah. So I appreciate that they're at least letting the athletes go, but it is funny.
But I can understand too, it's like we said, remember, if the IFBB, if you're a pro, and every year, depending on how you are, if it's like a big thing where, like, if you're one of the top pros, Mr. Olympia, they give you $200,000 a year, like a salary. Or if you're a light minor league pro, second tier, they might give you $80,000 a year salary. Look, if they're giving you a salary, then I understand you just compete with IFBB and be with IFBB. But we pay them for our pro card, where it says we're independent contractors. So how the fuck can you tell me where I can go and what I can do to make money when I'm an independent contractor?
Yeah.
Fuck, I wish I could find the name of the guy. There was a guy that went to another organization's show, and he was on stage. He basically just went up and just said, he's really appreciative of bodybuilding, blah, 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 blah. Nothing about the IFBB, nothing about anything to do with any organization. But it was a rival organization, and he was banned for 6 months. 6 months.
I remember, but was this a classic guy? Or was it not quite as good open guy or something from Europe or something like that? I remember seeing that, And he's like, I had no idea. And he qualified for the Olympia, actually, and he couldn't do it, I think.
Oh, that would suck.
Well, that's like when I was in Russia like 2 years ago on Good Vito. They had this contest had over 500 competitors, like one of the biggest ones in Russia. The stage was incredible. I'm up on stage giving a seminar, but when I'm in the crowd, I was sitting beside Good Vito. We're just having a good laugh and that, because he goes to speak English, so we're using Google Translate to talk to each other. I said, he handing out awards? Like, no. He goes, I'm only allowed to be here. I can't go on stage. They can't mention, like I said, people knew he was there, but they can't mention he's there. So he was allowed to be there, but they weren't allowed to say his name. He wasn't allowed to go on stage. I'm like, fuck me dead. It's like,
well, see, here's the thing. You can come from another organization under certain circumstances, right? And compete in the IFBB Pro League. Look at Andrew Jacked. Look at Michael Crizzo. Like you said, look at good. Why are these guys making exceptions? Because they're going to add money to the organization, right? So it seems like exceptions can be made when it comes to the almighty dollar. But to think that their almighty dollar is so threatened by, again, these minuscule comments that come out on a regular basis.
But if like I said, when I did the PDI show, which was like a month before the Olympia in 06, like I said, I compete to make money. That's what I do. I'm a professional athlete. Me competing in the PDI a month before and winning it, how does that affect the Mr. Olympia in a month's time? I'm still going to Mr. Olympia. My spans are still going there. It's like,
you're still Lee Priest. Like, what the fuck, man?
If there's a show to do and I can make money, why wouldn't I do it? It's like I said, you're not paying me just to be solely with the IFBB. That's why I don't get when these guys are, because anyone, whether it's amateur or pro, if you love competing, you love competing. And if you're in shape, let's just say I did the Mr. Olympia, and now a week after or 2 weeks after, they got the NABA Universe or they got the NABA World. Why can't I go do it if I'm in shape? It's not going to affect the IFBB at all. And like I said, if you're the best organization out there, people are going to come back to you no matter what. But let these people go and compete while they're in shape. It's not hurting anyone. Like you said, it's just getting your face out there more. You get more fans, which is just going to help the IFBB in the long run if that's where you're going to end up being the whole time. It's just, you don't need to threaten people to fucking have them come compete with you or make them stay with you. It's just bullshit.
Or punish them for that matter. You don't need to punish people for that. There's
no
need
one else
for
does.
it.
No one else does. Like in NABA Australia, when I was the president of it, before I handed it over, it's just like, you could compete with NABA, go IFBB. We don't care. Most other organizations don't care. Compete where you want to compete, but it's just the IFBB that makes the threats and punishes people for doing what they love to do. Most people, 80% of them have a fucking full-time job and do it for fun, so let them fucking compete for
Especially
fun.
back in the day.
Yeah, especially how hard it is, too, to get in shape. And if you've only got one IFBB show, then next week there's a NABA, then next week after that there's another organization. Why can't I hit them all? Because I'm fucking in shape. Let me fucking compete.
And in reality as well, IFBB pros are paying for the privilege to be a pro each year, and it's not cheap.
Yeah.
What is it, like $300 or something?
I think so, yeah.
$350?
That's what I said.
How
I said,
much?
yeah, I said, we're paying you. All you're doing is putting on a contest and giving us an opportunity to win money. That's it. You're not doing anything else for us. You're not helping us with our diet. You're not paying for this. You're not paying for that. And especially the pros, if you're not one of the best, like top back then, I think even today, if you're not in the real top, you're paying your airfare, you're paying your hotel, you're paying for everything. So what's the IFBB doing for you? Letting you stand on stage and say, thanks for coming? It's like...
Yep. When I interviewed Bob there, it was the first interview that I did with him. When you're a promoter and you pay your sanction fees to the IFBB Pro League, he told me, he said, you get two things when you pay your sanction fees: jack and shit. Yeah. That's it. So you get nothing.
And you got to pay them ahead of time too. You got to pay them a bit ahead of time too. Then you got to pay for that. If the head judge is coming out, you got to pay for them to come to your country. I know Tony used to have to pay a big fee up front and had to be in months before. Like,
and now you have to put the prize money, I think, in escrow as well. So you've got to have that well ahead of like selling any tickets too. So it's a big, like, to put on a pro contest is a big outlay. Like, it's, you got to have the money sort of sitting there already. Like, yeah, you might make money if you combine it with an amateur show, but it's sizable. I don't know what the sanction fee is for open men now, but I know back in the day it used to be at least $10,000 to just have the open division.
I think the last I heard too was like near the 20,000 mark here.
Yeah, I thought it probably would be. Yeah, it was probably 10K US or something.
And that's you. And that's like I said, that's a bit of money when you, like I said, all these countries that have to do it. And like you said, and then if you have to bring out a couple of their international judges, and that you got to pay their airfare and their hotels and.
Oh, but with the organization, it's kind of like a bid bond in construction, where you might have to put up 10% of the overall value of the contract. If it's $1 million, 10 million, 50, whatever, you've got to put up 10% in order to even bid on the like. Once you get it, that money just goes into an account and it sits there until the job is done. You don't get it back unless you complete it to 100%.
Remember, though, IFBB is non-profit.
The thing is, with the even I've heard, like, I think Jose Raymond said it. He said that I don't want to say anything, but no, this has been said publicly on a podcast. But basically, someone wanted to put on a show in a certain area in America, and they're like, "Oh yeah, but you got to pay this person 10K." It wasn't anything like official. It wasn't like, oh, it's a sanction fee or anything. No, you got to pay this person 10K, and then they'll let you show him this. I'm like,
there's a certain person that runs the thing. We won't say who, but I've heard all the stories, and it's been verified by people that were there.
I think it's maybe the same story we know, Lee. I think it's the same one we know.
They'd beat the back of a restaurant like the mafia, and people would pass brown paper bags with cash across the table to them, and
little envelope.
Yeah, brown paper bag, cash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this isn't an envelope. This won't fit in an envelope.
Big Halliburton. Here's your Halliburton, sir.
I think it's bodybuilding, for fuck's sake. It's not a fucking multi-billion-dollar thing like the NFL or something.
I think bodybuilding is worth more money than we can imagine. Oh, yeah. I think.
Yeah, they wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't, that's for sure. And they're living nice lives and doing whatever. So, yeah, on the backs of everyone else.
The weed offices and everything back in the day I heard were like huge, and then what Joe and Ben were worth, it's like that's pretty crazy. And like if you start to add up like how many pro shows are around, not pro shows, amateur shows are around the world, you just like Australia, for example, we're small. We're like what 25 million people or so. We have a Western Australian show, a Victorian show, a South Australian show, a New South Wales show, Queensland show. There's probably another one as well. You got about 6, and then you got the nationals as well. So you got about 7 big shows where you're getting how many entries, because they have multiple entries.
And they have their state shows, because now they have season A, season B, but now here there's a season C there starting up.
Oh yeah, so we're talking 20 shows a year or so. With like 100, 150 entries.
Back in the day, when I was first started, my contract wasn't too big. I used to go to his offices, and like I said, the whole place was marble. Oil paintings of all the Mr. Olympias like 12 fucking foot high on the walls. But you go up to Weeder's office outside and inside. He had so many of those fucking Remington statues and all this artwork and stuff. I'm thinking, I could just take one of these fucking statues. That'd be like a couple of $100,000 there. I just go pawn it.
Live good for the rest of your life on that.
Joe Weider bust.
He had all like American Indian statues and all these bronze things. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But like I said, even there money-wise, and like I said, it's so funny the contrast between the two, because Ben, he was like a Napoleon historian. He used to go around and give talks on Napoleon and had so much stuff. He had Napoleon's actual hat and stuff like that. But he used to like be like a big talker on it, go to universities and things, giving talks on Napoleon. But Joe was the opposite. Both being Jewish, Joe loved Hitler. He had so much stuff on Hitler, to everything. He was like interested in Hitler.
Crazy, really.
Like, here's the kind of memorabilia I keep around. I found this Coke bottle underwater back in 2020. No, 2019.
Was there a note in it? Was there a letter in it?
No, there was no fucking letter in it, but it's an old glass bottle, and it's been underwater for what year? I don't know what year this was actually, but yeah, they haven't made these in a very long time. I never did find out exactly. I've got a huge collection of bottles that I found underwater. I love finding them.
Older than that.
Have you ever found anything like, even like places you ever attempted to go where you hear there could be a shipwreck or fucking, you always watch those shows sometimes now where they go looking for treasure and gold and shit. Or I always like those type of shows where, or did you ever see that series where what was it called? It's really good when I go to different oceans and they'd say, if we drained the ocean, they'd drain the water out, and they'd talk about what would be there and the shipwrecks. And that's a really interesting documentary. They had like 8 episodes or something, like draining the ocean. I don't know
what this is like.
Yeah, those are good.
They probably talk about that Shackleton or Shackleton.
Oh yeah, they found that one, didn't they? It was almost in pristine condition because of the cold water.
So cold, right?
Yeah.
They dare not.
I want to see this show.
They were going to remove it, and they said, no, keep it there. It's been there for a couple hundred years. Leave it alone.
What was that one? They still talk about it now. I think it's coming from Spain or somewhere and had all the gold on board. And I think they just slowly started to find it now. I was watching a show because they had that big underwater vacuums, and they're starting to do it. And they just started finding all the gold coins now. It was from some big ship that was transporting all the gold from Spain to somewhere like some armada, and the ship sunk, and they've been looking for it for years and years.
You say like this is recent?
Yeah, like probably a couple of months ago I saw it on, and I think they found the location now. It was out deep in the ocean, and then they've gone down and they've got those vacuums. They just started going in this area where they thought it was, and the last bit I saw of it, they just discovered a few of these gold.
I've got one of those
coins, so they think they're in the right location.
Did you find
a vacuum or a gold coin?
No, I've got
those big underwater vacuums where they're sucking shit.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Yeah, I've got a couple of them. Yeah, depending on what we want to do. But no, we've well, let me think. There was the Atocha. The Atocha was a really, really big find when it came to treasure. Around here, there was a guy actually. His name was Alex Storm, and he found several shipwrecks. Where I think I told you guys about this before. He found several shipwrecks very, very close, only a half hour from where I live. From when it was from when the Fortress of Louisbourg was still active back in like the 1760s, 1770s, and around there. So it was occupied by the French, and several ships actually sank out there because our coastline's super rugged. Yeah. So he actually researched all these. What he was going out there for back in the 60s was he was diving for teak wood, right? For flooring and things like that. And so he found a coin. And so that ended up spiraling to him actually doing trips overseas, because you got to think this is the 60s. He actually went overseas to find the information to track the ships on where they were going in order to confirm how much they may have had on board. He found several $1 million worth of coins, him and 2 other guys. And this was before the government could really put your hands in your pockets, right? They took all the coins, they put them, it's all in his book. They took all the coins, they put them in steel boxes in their house. They told nobody but their wives for almost a year. And then they shipped it down to New York and sold it all at a private auction.
That's what you do.
That's sick.
That's like this one I watched where I said they actually found more, actually, because I'm thinking back now. I did watch another one where they found a ton of stuff, but they were similar. Because he said they've been doing it for years, these people too, and they said they used to be able to keep it all. But when they found all this one from this Spanish Armada, they had to give so much to the museum. They were allowed to keep some themselves, which still was in the millions and millions and millions, but they still had to give some to the.
As long as, you know,
museum.
Those kids on the Goonies, they found all them jewels and diamonds from that ship that time.
Could you imagine what's down there? Well, I was watching a documentary yesterday. What was it on? No, it was that show, 25, List 25, just list all weird facts and that. And they were listing some of the 25, the weirdest deep sea creatures. Some of those things are fucking like alien looking down there. It's some of those, even like the jellyfish that glow iridescent with like lights, like UFOs and type.
Yeah, they're bioluminescent. Yeah.
There's some sharks too that are like 400 years old or something like that.
Yeah, they had one of those sharks on there too. It looked like a fucking prehistoric dinosaur.
Yeah, they even look old.
Looked armor plated. It's like, fuck, that's weird.
They were older than a tortoise. I thought tortoise.
Well, it's true. It's like, well, don't they say we know more about space than we do what's in the fucking ocean? So
I don't know about that. Space is pretty big.
Yeah, but you know, so called we know more about the planets out there than we do what's down under.
I guess there's a great big 7-mile long spaceship coming towards Earth. Do you guys hear about
I saw that? Yeah, I saw that.
No, I didn't see that. No,
it's behind the
size
sun,
of Manhattan.
You can't really see it, right?
The size of Manhattan it is. Yeah,
it's coming, and it'll be here in 2027. So
is that Project Bluebeam setting us up?
I don't know.
I feel like the government's trying to make us like all of a sudden, but previously it felt like it was like, no, there's no aliens, and all of a sudden they're like, there might be some aliens. Remember they had that thing in Congress, and it was like that guy saying like
little dolls they brought out with those little aliens. Did you guys?
That was so fake. Those ones in Mexico, yeah, that was so fake. It looked like a stereotypical alien.
We got them right here.
But then they had that, then those fighter pilots showing those TikTok things on the radars and like Tic Tac sort of thing. But if you ever look up Project Bluebeam, that's where they reckon it's going, because with all this stuff now of holograms and shit, they reckon to bring the world together and control us similar to COVID.
I only believe old stuff, like old video footage that I see that's been around for a long time that couldn't be documented.
Harder to edit,
show me something new, and I'm like, I don't even want to see that.
The thing is, with all the cameras, even like I said, even if it came out 10 years ago, I'm thinking, with the camera technology we have now, why is everything still fucking blurry? Like I'm using an old 8mm fucking camera, like Bigfoot. Here he is, this dark shadow. It's like, can't you fucking zoom in and make it clear for fuck's sake?
Yeah,
just
like, and the thing is,
Bigfoot.
Exactly, and people set up trail cams as well. You know, those ones where so they're on a tree sitting somewhere, and
that's the thing about that. Back on the 70s,
did you ever watch that? You ever watch that show Finding Bigfoot that used to be on the History Channel?
Yeah.
Where those guys go into the forest, he's like, okay, Clark, I'm going to go across on that ridge.
You could actually see them over there, like humps and lumps. It's like, oh my God.
But really? one of them would stay. He was like, okay, I'm going to go a mile that way. And when I get on the ridge, I'm going to give a call. You listen out. So this guy goes a mile away, gets up there, he goes, Brrr! And the other guy who's a mile away, he's like, okay, that's John making the noise. Then he would sit, he goes, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I think it's a squash. I think that's a squash. John, do the call again. Yeah. What's that? I think these guys are just fucking nuts walking around the forest making these stupid noises.
People watched it. They believed it.
People loved it.
Same thing as those ghost ones as well. Like they could.
Ooh, what's that? What's that? Ooh, I felt cold.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Like anyone can do the ghost ones because you're not seeing anything ever on camera. So it's like
that little
my wife will watch those all day long.
Really?
It's moving into the red. It's moving into the red, and then they go, "Oh, that was cold. Hold on, let's play back the recording."
They probably sell those. They probably sell those meters too online.
Hear that? Listen. Help
The
me.
Ghostbusters thing. Beep, 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 beep.
I just can't. Like, there's some of it back when you didn't know any better, I guess.
Yes. Might have give you a chill or something watching Unsolved Mysteries.
It's always the women too.
Maybe.
The women that walk around on the prison ones and they go, oh no, I'm getting the bad feeling. I can't go in that room. No, something bad happened in that room. I just can't go in there. I'm thinking, he's just putting this shit on for the camera. Fucking go in the room.
Just go in. You'll be fine.
There was one I watched where there's 4 or 5 guys, just young teenagers or whatever. They all went into this mine shaft. Do you guys ever see that one? It was taken back in like maybe 20 years ago. It was pretty old footage, but they were traveling all through, and there was this big holes like 60 feet deep, and it was all real. It was all like actual footage, and it was a rope tied around the thing, and one kid went to climb down it, and the rope snapped, and he went down.
I think I did see that one. I think I did see that one. Yeah, it snapped.
They had to call. He didn't die. They had to call people.
Get help. Yeah.
But you could see that rope all of a sudden. Because they didn't even check to see if the rope it's been there for 20 years.
It's like an old mine rope.
Yeah, brains.
That's crazy. Do you know what ruined me for stuff like that? I was at the Perth show with my ex and one or both her kids, I don't know. But we went to watch this hypnotist, right? And he had a book, and his dad was apparently a famous hypnotist. And we went in there, and there was a lot of people. There was like 1,000 people maybe in this, like, I don't know, this venue thing in there, at least 1,000, I'd say. And he's like, oh, I'm going to hypnotize 10 people and get them on stage. I'm like, oh, this actually starts to sound pretty believable. And he did a few things with people, and I'm like, he's picking them out of the audience, but I'm like, are they pre-selected or not? So I'm like, I'm going to do it. I want to find out. So he's like, oh, if you want to come up or whatever. Not many people did it. He's like, oh, how about you? And you, blah, blah, blah. And he pointed out at a few people, and then he like pointed towards me and my ex. So we went up there. I'm like, okay, I'm open to this. I'm going to try it. He's like, close your eyes, do this. And then I was open to it. And then there's just nothing. Like, everyone must have been acting. And I think what he does is everyone up there was acting because they felt pressure of being so many people in front of you and making the whole thing awkward. So like, he chose one Asian guy out, and he was sort of shy, and he's like, he sort of spoke to everyone on the microphone. And this guy was really weird. He's like, nah, not you. And he just sent him back, and he's like, no, this Asian guy isn't going to play along. It was so funny. He just sent him back and grabbed someone else. I was like,
they just say you're not open to it. You can't be hypnotized. You're not open to it. You're not susceptible.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You didn't run around like a chicken. You didn't run around like clucking like a chicken.
No, they made you do weird shit. Yeah, it was like that. It was like clucking like a chicken or something like that. And I'm doing it. I'm like, I want to die. And I was so close to being like, nut, and walking off. I was going to do it. And I'm like, what's my ex doing? And she's sort of half doing it. I'm like, we're looking at each other. But there was other people that looked fully in it. I'm like, they can't be hypnotized. And then they said, okay, now like as soon as like the music stops or whatever, you're going to go and like hug someone passionately that's closest to you. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You know what?
This big woman started to come towards me. She started to come in. And then my ex just ran in front and grabbed me. And she's like, nah. She's like, nah.
That's what happened to your ex. He whispered in her ear, you have cancer. Start a GoFundMe.
Oh, exactly. And
I have cancer.
Yeah, it felt like she believed it. She had a lot of appointments and stuff.
And then you clicked your fingers one day, and she went, oh, shit, I don't have it. But I got to keep the lie going there. I got the
lie.
Yeah, you got the money. That's it.
They really believe their own lies sometimes.
I just got to take a quick
I feel like that. I feel like people genuinely believe like they'll make up something in their head. They'll make up that someone's a bad person, even if they're not being a bad person. And then they'll have the littlest thing in their head about it, and then like make it bigger in their head and justify everything that they do. It's like it's a weird phenomenon.
Yeah, people do that without the hypnosis, Xavier.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you know a few.
Right? I know a few. I'm more than a few.
Yeah, no doubt. We won't go down that road. Mark, what's the next show? Is it the Europa or is it the Italy? I don't remember which one.
The Europa, I believe. But there was a few new ones that were placed in after I wrote all them down because I'm missing a couple. But the Europa
for some reason, I thought it was Italy. The Italy on the 7th, no? Or 7th of September?
I don't know. There's a couple
written down there.
There's one on the 7th. I know that much. And one on the 14th.
Yes, there is.
The Europa's on the 14th. So there's one on the 7th that you told me about, Kenson, and I forgot to write it down.
That's the Italy show. Yeah. Sergio Oliva Jr. is competing in it.
Oh, okay. And your buddy there, Xavier Wills of Desktop Bodybuilding.
Which buddy? Quentin's doing it. Who else?
No, the guy from England. The guy from England.
Mark Hector.
Not Nathan
Mark
Yasha.
Hector.
Oh, Mark Hector. Yeah, I love Mark Hector.
You like Mark Hector?
Yeah. Mark's going to look good. I reckon.
There's a lot of really good guys competing in that show, actually. There's Amir Omaragic is going to be there again. Robin Strange was supposed to, but he tore his bicep again, so he's out.
Damn. The Italian show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's
so
good
Robin's
to see, good to see Quinton training with Samson. That'd be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super
cool.
cool.
Yeah, doing the show, right?
I think it's pretty cool too, because Samson, like I said, he's preparing for the Olympia. And, when you focus yourself, it's good that, it's probably help him too, because Quinton will push him, he'll push Quinton. So it's good to see them teaming up. I think he said he was going to be there 3 weeks, was it, or so? Or
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Samson's always trained by himself, Yeah. He's always trained by himself. The odd time he'd have a training partner, but for the most part, you just see Samson grind it out. He puts on his headphones. It says, "Do not disturb" on the side of it, or "fuck off," whatever it says, right? And he just goes at it, right? So it's cool to see him with somebody else that is looking to really push themselves, right? It's not like one of these guys is just there. It's really cool to train with Samson. No.
Yeah.
Quentin is looking to come in and win this next show and make his own way to the Olympia, right? Like, he's gone well out of his way to go and train with Mr. Olympia. And I think it's going to be really, really good for both of them.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. Especially Quentin, I think.
But it also
100%.
shows you, like I said, it shows you Samson's, like I said, down to earth personality. Because most guys who are prepping for the Olympia, they'd be like, "Fuck off! I'm not helping anyone," or "I got to focus on myself. I haven't got time." Whereas Samson sees the benefit too, because yes, Marlena probably pushes him hard as well, but having just someone like Quentin too can just give you that little bit extra push, and you can play off each other while you train and type things. So I think it's going to be good for both of them.
Yeah, both of them are good friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still in his 20s?
10 years or so difference?
Gotta be.
Yeah. Might be, he might be 29. I'm not sure.
That's young, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's young.
That's crazy young.
Yeah. But no, there's there's a good list of competitors. Who's coming back?
Tim doing one of them?
Who?
Beirut put up a photo yesterday and said 8/5 weeks out. Yesterday I think you put it up, or the day before.
Well, the Olympia would be 8 weeks. The Olympia would be 8 weeks.
Olympia's 8 weeks, but there's 3 shows before the Olympia, and it said 8/5 weeks out.
Yes, that's right. But the Europa is the last one in order to qualify for the 2025 Olympia. You're right, Xavier. He did. What the
tsunami must be for next year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
the last one's for next year.
The 22nd. Oh, it's the tsunami France.
Yeah, there's one in France, because that was the one Samson did last year before the Olympia.
Yes.
Yeah. So Beirut must be doing that to qualify for next year. He's like, oh well, if Trump's got me this year, maybe next year.
Well, say Samson.
I think the last one before the Olympia is a qualifier for next year.
Samson might do it again to warm up for the Olympia. Say if Samson does warm up for the Olympia and Beirut.
He
should.
He's done it before.
Look at last year. He competed how many times last year, and then he won the Olympia? He hasn't competed a lot.
Lee, it looked like you were polishing your helmet there.
No, I'm rubbing the side of my calf.
Shaking my
Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on.
Samson's
Mr. Olympia. Samson doesn't have to qualify for shit.
I know, but he could do it just as a warm-up.
Yeah,
it warmed him up for the Olympia. Because remember,
I was watching the Voice of Bodybuilding, Bob and Sean, and even though I was saying that because
I love that show.
When Samson had one show, he sometimes doesn't come in good. So they figured maybe Samson doing the one before it actually gets him in better shape for the Olympia. So
take the nerves down too. It would.
Well, 100%. Samson said. It was on his story today. He's trying to come in like peeled and shredded and everything like that. And he said he's going to suffer. So maybe, if it's 2-3 weeks out of the Olympia, then if he gets in similar condition to how he was in the Olympia last year, and he does the first show.
I mean, if he came in hard, like let's just say he got that hardness, no one would touch him if he comes in hard like that.
I don't know if he has the ability to have that same level of detail, like he might have some craziness in like the hammies and certain body parts, a few more deeper lines through the chest and whatnot, but I don't know if he has the ability to get that hardy.
Better arms than Hattie though.
Yeah, he does. Hattie's
his torso is unbelievable.
Chest. The thing I'm worried about with Hardy like I think the area of his physique that we'll start to notice sort of like a bit of a downfall at first is maybe a little bit on one of the sweeps. Like one of his legs is a little smaller than the other, but also like his forearms aren't that big, and it looks like maybe his arms might retract a little bit. You know what I mean? Like the bicep tricep
have been getting worse every year.
Yeah,
I don't think Derek's got big arms, does he? Derek's forearms aren't that big.
Derek's arms are full, but they're not. They don't have that shape quality. The 90s guys.
But I think too, most shorter guys, a lot of them had like the peakier biceps. Derek's got that longer biceps, so it sometimes makes it look different.
Not many peaks
very
nowadays.
blown up.
Just Nick Walker, I think, is the only one with
the
quality 90s type triceps.
He's looking good in his last photo, Nick, too, so I'm interested.
Nick looks unbelievable. Yeah, looks unbelievable.
John Jewett also. John Jewett's got some arms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tim Budasine is another one that's competing in Italy coming up.
Is he?
Found that out.
Haven't seen
Which
him in a
one's
while.
Stefan Matala doing?
He's doing Italy as well.
He's going to look really good, man.
Sergio's doing Italy.
Regan Grimes, maybe.
Sergio.
Regan
doing
Grimes.
Italy?
Is he?
I'm starting the rumor mill now. No.
Regan, he's qualified. He's qualified for the Olympia. What would he do that for?
No, well, here's the thing. In his latest YouTube video, one of his latest YouTube videos, he was training with his newest coach, Dom Super Sliced, and he did hint at the end. He just threw it in, just a little hint at the end. Maybe a show before the Olympia. So it's either going to be the Italy or it's going to be the Europa.
Better hope he wins.
What about the last qualifier? That's not Europa, is it? What's the last qualifier?
The French one. That's the French one, isn't it? Or no,
the Europa.
He might do
I
the
think
qualifier for next year.
Yeah,
he might do the qualifier for next year. Though,
I saw Justin Shire lost his HD contract or expired. Did it?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I saw him put it up, just spanking them and being family. But then sometimes you often wonder,
oh, really?
How when these people lose their contracts, it sort of coincides with when they do poorly at a show.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like sometimes, like I get it. Like if that's a company and he wants a certain amount and that just can't come to an agreement, it's fine. I don't think it's like FHD.
If you don't win a show or place high, you just take what they fucking give you until you do well again. Don't go telling them what you want. Now, if you win a show, then you can say, hey, I'm worth this. But if you just happen to come in 9th or 10th, if they offer you the same, just fucking take it to you.
Take it.
Do better.
I think Justin Shire as well, though. Like he does well financially outside.
Yeah, I gotta say,
bodybuilding
anyway.
So
he's good.
Yeah, so he's like, I don't want
great the last show, but he placed so low.
I thought he got a little bit.
I didn't think he looked that bad, really.
I think he looked better. I thought he looked
slightly overlooked. No,
I will say
he did. And the judges told him he would look worse.
Yeah, when he put those two photos,
that was bullshit.
Yeah, he was better. All
two
photos
he
better,
put
I
up.
thought.
Yeah, that was total bullshit.
Yeah, that comparison photo, he looked much better than.
Yeah, the judges are saying, "Well, you regressed."
That's what I mean. Don't go ask the judges. They're fucking useless. They can't tell you shit. Those dumb cunts down the front. Why even fucking ask them?
I would say to get a good spot on that one.
None of them have ever been on a diet. They've never been on stage. Jesus, it's like, shut up.
I think as well with Justin, like he just the only thing he lacked when you see him moving on stage, because watching the stream, you'd notice in the transitions, you're like, whoa, he's a fair bit smaller than some of these guys. Like because
for sure.
Yeah, but standing like until he really locked like his back poses, then you'd see the glutes pop out enough to get that sort of 3D look. But when he was just moving into it and everything, that you wouldn't see the same depth as compared to the guy standing next to him. But I think he definitely deserved higher than 13th place or whatever he got. Like
he was way down there.
I had him much higher than that.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any photos beforehand, and when I just heard the placing, I'm thinking, "Fuck, did he come in fat or just like smooth as?" And when I saw some of the photos, I'm like, "Why is everyone dogging him? He doesn't look that bad at all." I'm thinking,
great. No,
nobody was dogging him though. That's the thing is nobody. I don't know anybody that agreed with him placing where he did. You know, he deserved a couple placings higher. I'm not saying he deserved first call out or anything, but he did deserve a couple. He just
won a show last. Well, it was the year before last.
Won the Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't place last at the Olympia. He was 15th.
Who was
it was a deep lineup. There were a lot of good guys. There was a few guys that he could have beaten for sure. Like it was, it was deep, and it was like Kareth, I think, could have placed at least a spot or two higher because
Again,
I think
I agree.
Bruno beat
next to bigger guys, and he looks smaller. And I think it's like guys like Thierry Postel. It's like, how did he not place so good? And then you see him next to a great big guy. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
Kareth is competing again too
in the Open.
I don't know if it's in the Open before the Olympia, but I do know that he's going to compete again.
Well, he looked, I think he should have been one spot higher. I had him beating Bruno, but now I think about it, I said 1 or 2 spots higher, only really one, because then ahead of that was Amir Omaragic, and he was like dancing hard like crazy.
He was pretty peeled.
You have to remember that was Justin and Stu are the ones that pretty much filled out predictions off. Stu and Justin, because we expected Justin and Stu to be in the top 5. We're like, what the fuck happened?
Well, it was a hard show to predict. I can tell you that. There were 7 or 8 guys that could have won.
Yeah.
I predicted Stu in 2nd or 3rd or something. And what was Stu in the end? Like 8th-ish?
He got less than 7th because Kareth was 7th.
Yeah. I think he might have been 8th or 9th. Yeah.
I'm gonna invite Kareth back on the show, man. I got to get him back on. It's been a while.
Yeah,
like for sure.
Yeah. Giles Thomas was going to join us on this one, but he ended up with his girlfriend had a death in the family, so he's looking at joining us next week as well. So that'll be a good guy to have on.
And Giles is good. Awesome. I'm good with Giles.
Dylan loves Giles. Giles is his hero.
Dylan. Dylan's not coming back on here.
Oh, come on, Dylan.
First tour. I did my first tour with Giles. It would have been 06, I think, and then 20 years later we did it earlier this year, and then we did another one, and the comparisons are like Lee's just as crazy as ever. But the whole time on tour, ask Giles when he comes on, I tortured Giles to no end.
He needs a holiday after a Lee Priest tour for sure.
He does. He goes, I love these tours. He goes, when Lee goes, I need a break because I'm just on his case the whole time. Me and Chris that owns Muscle Labs Gym, who comes with us, we just lay in the Giles the whole time.
He's telling a story with Ron about when you were over there or something, and he said he took something in Amsterdam or something, and he's like, oh
oh god,
yeah. He said it took
I didn't see him the whole next day.
Yeah, because he like pretty much died.
It was like him and Chris had to crawl to the bathroom to go to the toilet. They said I'm like, text them like, how we meant to do legs? They're like, maybe because we meant to do legs at 8. Then it was like, let's try 10. Then I get a text from Chris at 12. No, I still can't move. I'm going to do it later. Later on that day, we ended up going. Actually, we went to the movies late that afternoon, I think, and stuff like that. But they were fucked.
Yeah, seems like it. You assimilate it pretty quick and you get over it. So
yeah, it didn't bother me. I was ready to go. I'm like, come on, guys! I just laid in my hotel room all day eating M&Ms and watching TV.
Holy shit. Bo Lewis is another one that's going to come back on here soon too.
Wait, what happened to Bo? What did he place at that last show? Someone put up a thing and he goes 6, was it?
6th, yeah.
So, yeah. 2nd. Yeah. We thought he was going to get 2nd.
Yeah.
I thought he was,
The Australian Cam George got 3rd.
I always make fun of Bo and his appendage there, his 3rd leg. I'm thinking maybe that's what's holding him back because they don't want to have him win it because it's almost like the Elephant Man. It's like a freak show. It's too big. We can't have you win a show because
the Elephant Man, John Merrick or Joseph Merrick.
I would like to know how the judges judge him if the judges had to list their penis size. You know what I mean? Like the guy that has a real small penis, the judge is like,
he would win.
But the thing is,
Andrew Jack would do okay.
Yeah, his physique is so good though, but it's almost like when he comes out, they almost treat like they start snickering and laughing. It's almost like they're treating him like a joke, even though he's got a physique that could win the show. Because of that, it's almost like it's more entertainment. Like, oh my God, look at that. It's almost like they're looking at that more than they're looking at his fucking physique.
Yeah. It is. I mean, you see a close up of Bo Lewis like posing in posing trunks on Instagram, and it's the first thing that hits you. Like, you just not that I'm like looking for the crutch, but I'm like, oh, geez. And then everyone comments, who makes you posing trunks?
You look great. You look great in that double bicep picture he posted. You look really good.
He did.
He does have a fantastic physique.
Very good.
Yeah.
He won the.
I think his arms came up in size.
Yeah.
No, the arms.
I like his voice.
He did. He was really like he was peeled. Like he. I don't know. I don't know how fair of a look he got. I didn't look at all the comparisons, but It's like you
There's
guys
some
said.
good guys in the show as well.
Well,
There's some other real good guys.
But at the end of the day, even if Bo doesn't win the show, Bo wins every show.
He wins. Isn't he from Nantucket?
I think he lives in Nashville now.
Oh,
yeah, he's in Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah,
Close.
he's in Nashville.
Close. Starts with N. Starts with N.
Well,
there was a little joke behind there that I can't say.
No, Nantucket with a bucket and fuck it or something.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Well,
he can't. Bo can't tuck it. He can't tuck it.
No. Do you know what's crazy? Like bodybuilders get like testicular atrophy when they compete, right? Generally, unless he's pumping a heap of HCG or something. So it's like it makes the overall package a little smaller, but it's still not.
Well,
it's like
I don't know anything about that side, but I know when you flex, everything gets small down there.
But normally when you're
like a frightened
down too,
the
worst thing would be when you if people take too much gear and their testicles stop producing, they'll shrink up. But then when you get ready for a contest and you dehydrate, if you take a diuretic, then it looks like you got a fucking little stack of quarters in your fucking pants.
the thing the diuretic makes it drawn out more. And then also you're pumping up backstage, so you're pushing like when you if you go to if you're at the gym and you go to take a pee, generally your thing is going to be a little.
It's way smaller.
When you're going to be a little smaller
stuff. When you're flexing and stuff, and say you get into a fist fight, have a look at it. When you're in a fist fight, it's gone, disappears.
I've been like, fuck, it's like I got circumcised when I was little, and sometimes I'm thinking, fuck, I got foreskin. It's retracted that far in. It's like a fucking deflated party balloon tied in a fucking knot. What happened to
it? Gentlemen, I'm ending it on this note. That is the perfect way. That's it. All right. We'll, like I said, Giles.
We're just going to get to clitorises. Why are we ending it now?
I had a conversation with my girlfriend about how I was explaining how on women the man's the clitoris is the penis, and then I said the flaps of the ball sack, and she's like, they are, and I was like, yeah, see,
there's just nothing.
That's the sad thing in bodybuilding. The women get bigger down there, and we get smaller.
Yeah, and our breasts get bigger, and their breasts get smaller.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's strange, the whole thing. They turn more masculine, and yeah, it's strange.
I never really thought about that, but look, we got to save some content for next week. We can't burn through it all right now, right?
Yeah.
No,
and if you have Bo on, you can have an expert on to talk about it.
Dolores.
I'll leave that to Dave. No, we'll look at having Giles on. Hopefully he makes it next week. There's a few really good guests coming up to join us. So it's going to be good. The Europa's looking good. Italy's looking good. There's some really good stuff coming up. But we'll get into more of it next week, gentlemen. Again, thank you all for joining me as always.
Thank you, and go Golden Girls.
Yeah. Go Golden Girls. Well, that's going to do it for this.
$6 million shirt this time. $6 million man shirt.
Yeah, well, you got your work cut out for you, Mark. You got to find one. All right, that's it. I'm going to end it there, guys. Thanks again for joining me. I will catch you guys on the next one.